Alison Redford is Alberta's Tory leader and the province's new premier. She'll be sworn in tomorrow, actually. So, how exactly did she beat favourite Gary Marr to win the race for the leadership? Well, one group thinks a backroom union deal had something to do with it. Stephen Taylor, director of the National Citizens Coalition, joins me now from Ottawa. And Stephen, you allege that Redford secured her victory as party leader with a deal with the Alberta's teachers.
Well, yeah, there's this between the first and second ballot, Alison Redford was in the teens on the first ballot, and Gary Marr had 41%. And then 3 days later, she sends a letter, 3 days after the first ballot, she sends a letter to the Alberta Teachers Union and says, I'm going to, what we cut a few months ago while I was in cabinet, $107 million from teachers, from the education fund. We're going to restore that within 10 days when I become premier. And lo and behold, a few days after that, the union president sent out a message to all the members saying, go get involved in the Alberta PC leadership race. Many union members have never, ever wanted to ever have anything to do with something called conservative. And then we see Alison Redford go from 19% to right up to Marr, and then get tipped at the last minute with the preferential balloting system to take the victory. She went from 19% on the first ballot to over 50% on the second ballot.
Yeah, it certainly does make you raise an eyebrow at the very least. Can you tell me, do you know if when she was in cabinet under Stelmach's government, when they originally cut this funding, if she was in favor of it, or had she spoken out against it at that time, or?
Well, she was signing off on it as part of cabinet. Usually in cabinet, you don't march out in front of the TV cameras and say that you're against it. But you know, there's a saying about Alison Redford in the PC party. I mean, she's an old Joe Clark, staffer. You know, there's red, there's redder, and then there's Redford. So Alison Redford certainly does represent the left side of what is allegedly a PC or conservative party in Alberta, but I think lots of Albertans have realized that conservatism has left the PC party a long time ago, and it's time to look at other options.
All right, let's get back to this initial thing that you and I were speaking about, though, with this possible backroom deal. You're not just bothered by the fact that such a deal could have been struck. You're also very bothered by where that money is going to come from.
Oh yeah, it's coming from the sustainability fund. It's Marr and Morton, when they were running for leadership, they said, look, this $107 million cannot come from Alberta's treasury because, well, we're in a deficit budget right now. We need to balance the budget. I mean, Alberta used to be, a shining jewel in the Canadian crown. It used to have, surpluses when everyone was running deficits. Now Alberta is running deficits, and they're the Premier-elect's first act in office is going to be to write a big $107 million check to the special interests. I mean, please, this is supposed to be a conservative party, but their first act of office is to make an election promise come true to the unions. It just doesn't smell right to me.
Yeah, it kind of makes you look at the calendar and go, well, what happened? Did I sleep or something? It'll be very interesting. I mean, she's the Premier-elect. She'll be sworn in tomorrow, but of course, at some point, she will have to face the electorate, so it'll be interesting how these kinds of things affect her when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. They're sitting fall session coming up, and we're looking forward to an election next spring. 1 out of 4 of our members of the National Citizens Coalition are Albertans, so our members, they want us to hold conservative feet to the fire, and when a conservative party in name only is calling themselves conservative, well, it's our job to call them out on that.
Well, and we thank you for it, and I thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Jackie.
That is Stephen Taylor, director of the National Citizens Coalition, joining me from Ottawa. Still ahead, the tech world mourns the death of Steve Jobs.